good, chat? How we doing today? Just got done hooping. Not gonna lie, I don't think I had the best of days today. Just gotta get back in the lab, focus up on my shot, get better at dribbling. Overall, I feel like I had a good day today. Hope you guys had a good day today too. Without further ado, let's get into it. Might be short, extremely tired, but let's get it done. Why people seldom succeeded before 40. I discovered from the analysis of over 25,000 people that those who succeeded in an outstanding way seldom do so before the age of 40. More often, they do not strike their real pace until they are well beyond the age of 50. This fact was so astonishing that it prompted me to go into the study of its cause most carefully, carrying the investigation over a period of more than 12 years. This study disclosed that the major reason why the majority of people who succeed do not begin to do so before the age of 40 to 50 is their tendency to dissipate their energies through overindulgence in physical expression of the emotion of sex. Most people never learn that the urge of sex has other possibilities which far transcend in importance than of mere physical expression. The majority of those who make this discovery do so after having wasted many years when the sex energy is at its height prior to the age of 45 to 50. This is usually followed by noteworthy achievement. The lives of many people up to and sometimes well past the age of 40 reflect a continued dissipation of energies, which could have been more profitable channeled. Their finer and more powerful emotions are swan widely to the four winds. Out of this habit grew the term sowing one's wild oats. The desire for sexual expression is by far the strongest and most impelling of all the human emotions. For this very reason, this desire, when harnessed and transmuted into action other than that of physical expression, may rise one to the status of a genius. One of America's most able businessmen frankly admitted that his attractive secretary was responsible for most of the plans he created. He confessed that her presence lifted him to heights of creative imagination, such as he could experience under no other stimulus. History is not lacking examples of people who attained the status of geniuses as a result of using artificial mind stimulants in the form of alcohol and narcotics. Edgar Allan Poe wrote The Raven while under the influence of alcohol, dreaming dreams that mortal never dared to dream before. James Whitcomb Riley did his best writing while under the influence of alcohol. Perhaps thus he saw the ordered intermingling of the real and the dream, the mill above the river and the mist above the stream. Robert Burns wrote best when intoxicated, for Auld Lang Syne, my dear, will take a cup of kindness yet for Auld Lang Syne. But let it be remembered that many such people have destroyed themselves in the end. Nature has prepared her own potions with which people may safely stimulate their minds so they vibrate on a plane that enables them to tune in to fine and rare thoughts from the great unknown. No satisfactory substitute for nature's stimulants has ever been found. Psychologists recognize that there is a very close relationship between sex desires and spiritual urges, a fact which accounts for the peculiar behavior of people who participate in the orgies known as religious rituals, common among the primitive types. The world is ruled and the dynasty of civilization is established by the human emotions. People are influenced in their actions not by reason so much as by feelings. The creative faculty of the mind is to set into action entirely by emotions and not by cold reason. The most powerful of all human emotions is that of sex. There are other mind stimulants, one of which have been listed, but no one of them, nor all of them combined, can equal the driving power of sex. Mind stimulant is any influence that will either temporarily or permanently increase the vibrations of thought. The 10 major stimulants described are those most commonly resorted to. Through these sources, one may commune with infinite intelligence or enter at will the storehouse of the subconscious mind, either one's own or that of another person. A teacher who has trained and directed the efforts of more than 30,000 people made the astounding discovery that highly sexed people are the most efficient sales reps. The explanation is that the factor of personality known as personal magnetism is nothing more nor less than sex energy. Highly sexed people always have a plentiful supply of magnetism. Through cultivation and understanding, this vital force may be drawn upon and used to great advantage in the relationships between people. This energy may be communicated to others through the following medium. Number 1, the handshake. The touch of the hand indicates instantly the presence of magnetism or the lack of it. Number 2, the tone of voice. Magnetism or sex energy is a factor with which the voice may be colored or made musical and charming. Number 3, posture and courage of the body. Highly sexed people move briskly and with grace and ease. Number 4, the vibrations of thought. Highly sexed people mix the motion of sex with their thoughts, or may do so at will, and in that way may influence those around them. Number 5, body adornment. People who are highly sexed are usually very careful about their personal appearance. They usually select clothes of a style becoming to their personality, physique, complexion, etc. When employing salespeople, the more capable sales manager looks for the quality of personal magnetism as the first requirement for the job. People who lack sex energy will never become enthusiastic nor inspire others with enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is one of the most important requisites in salesmanship. No matter what one is selling, the public speaker or orator, a preacher, lawyer, or salesperson who is lacking in sex energy is a flop as far as being able to influence others is concerned. Couple with this the fact that most people can be influenced only through an appeal to their emotions, and you will understand the importance of sex energy as part of the salesperson's natural ability. Master sales reps attain the status of mastery in selling because they either consciously or unconsciously transmute the energy of sex into sales enthusiasm. In this statement may be found a very particular suggestion as to the actual meaning of sex transmutation. Salespeople who know how to take their minds off the subject of sex and direct it into sales effort with as much enthusiasm and determination as they would apply to its original purpose have acquired the art of sex transmutation, whether they know it or not. The majority of salespeople who transmute their sex energy do so without being in the least aware of what they are doing or how they are doing it. Transmutation of sex energy calls for more willpower than the average person cares to use for its purpose. Those who find it difficult to summon willpower sufficient for transmutation may gradually acquire this ability. The reward for the practice is more than worth the effort. The entire subject of sex is one which the majority of people appear to be unpardonably ignorant. The urge of sex has been grossly misunderstood, slandered, and besquilled by the ignorant and the civil-minded for the long that the very word sex is seldom used in polite society. Men and women who are known to be blessed, yes, blessed, with highly sexed natures are usually looked upon with suspicion. Instead of being called blessed, they are usually called cursed. Millions of people, even in this age of enlightenment, have developed inferiority complexities because of this false belief that a highly sexed nature is a curse. These statements of the virtue of sex energy should not be construed as justification for the libertine. The emotion of sex is a virtue only when used intelligently and with discrimination. It may often be misused to such an extent that it debases instead of enriches both body and mind. The better use of this power is the burden of this chapter. It seemed quite significant to the author when he made the discovery that practically every great male leader whom he had the privilege of analyzing was a man whose achievements were largely inspired by women. In many instances, the woman in the case was a modest, self-defined woman of whom the public had heard little or nothing. In a few instances, the source of inspiration has been traced to the other woman. Perhaps such cases may be entirely unknown to you. I'm going to take a pause there. It's very fascinating to see sex be talked about in this manner, especially, you know, I want to talk about where it says that here, belief that a highly sexed nature is a curse. It's very interesting to see that. I mean, I can understand why not many people want to talk about or be able to articulate some of their performances based on their sex desires or their sex transmutation, but it's very fascinating to see that in that perspective, for sure. Something that I've never thought about. It makes me think if it's very applicable to a man or a woman, if this science still applies. Because the example pulled out that one senior executive had admitted that he came up with a lot of great ideas because he had another very attractive woman in his team that had pushed him. And I'm curious to know if she knew that. I'm curious to know if they were in some kind of romantic relationship, or just the fact that he found her attractive enough that he just wanted maybe to impress her, or maybe to try to get with her in some way or another. So yeah, very interesting. But on the night there, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.